I thought a really good MGTOW post, and it got me to thinking in depth about how the reason why it's so hard to get people to see what you're talking about, whether it be politically, morally, ethically, legally, is because normies take this existential crisis attached with just basic shit. Like, for example, the MGTOW guy says that you can't discuss dating and relationships with normie men because they attach all of their worth to how the system operates in regards to relationships. Because when you think about the interactions between a man and a woman, it always comes down to a man is earning the respect, the admiration, the attention, and the validation of a woman. Name me an instance in an interaction between a man and a woman where it is not a struggle of some sort to obtain one of those things. It is not a transaction between a man trying to garner the attention, the affection, the respect, or love of a woman. Now, if he is having to earn it, because surely we're not entitled to it, what is the woman earning? Because it can't work both ways. You can't be the recipient and also be the one trying to get it also. Because if you were trying to obtain it also, well, then what are you doing to obtain it also? Just kind of standing there? That doesn't make any sense. So if women are not participating in in siphoning the love juice, then what the fuck are they doing? They're just there for their vaginas. That's objectification. That is their doings. The women are choosing to be objects of affection because they want to be idolatry. They want to be idly worshipped by the man. It's blasphemy. It should be any religious person, be Christian, Muslim, whatever, should be vehemently against that. And you tell this to people, and they get angry because it completely tears apart their perception of reality. It's not even so much that you're telling them they're wrong, because it goes beyond being wrong. There's many ways to be incorrect, but to know that your entire worldview is just upside down and it's to your detriment, I guess it's just too much for people. But why should it be too much for you? You're already miserable. You can't get much more miserable. If you're already miserable, what the fuck you gotta worry about? What does it matter if you realize that you've been under a fucking delusion? It doesn't. It doesn't matter. What's the difference between whether you're right or you're wrong if you're miserable anyway? I mean, I don't have to worry about that because I'm always right, but you get what I'm saying. And it's like that with any morality. I'm not just talking about MGTOW here. I could talk about sexual misconduct because God knows there's a bunch of pedophiles in the incel movement and in the moderators and things like that. And we know it's wrong, but do you know why it's wrong? Oh, I'm starting to get into some deep shit here. Because do you stop to think about why you think it's wrong? Because what's the point of you espousing it's wrong and being so passionately like, oh, they need to be beheaded, Allah Akbar, if you don't even know why you personally feel it's that wrong? Do you feel personally that it's that wrong? Or do you just feel like you have to go along with everybody else who's saying it's wrong? And they too are only saying it's wrong because they feel like everybody else is doing it. And it's just really, really stupid. Because it is indeed wrong. But do you know why it's wrong? I know why it's wrong. I know exactly why it's wrong. I could even go into graphic detail why it's wrong. Personally, I think that child molesters should be summarily executed because they go against the grind of what it means to have a functioning relationship. And it comes back to, we don't want a society of thoughts, correct? Well, what do you think is going to happen when you don't raise a child correctly and they are abused and they have no concept of a healthy monogamous relationship with another human being because, they got this fucked up relationship going with their uncle or with their dad or with their brother or whatever. It doesn't matter. And so what I'm saying is it's wrong because it preemptively sets women up to be fucked up the way they are already in Western society. So that's why it's wrong. And you tell that to people, and they get so unsettled because not because you're not agreeing with them that it's wrong. We both agree it's wrong, but because you've actually given it a definition as to why it's wrong, and it might vary from the reason they concluded it was wrong. Well, why? Why is that a problem? We both agree it's wrong. I clearly have a much more articulated and clearer understanding of why it's wrong and what could be done about it and what would be the consequences of not doing something about it, etc. ad infinitum. And you're sitting here just being like, no, it's wrong. It's just bad is bad. That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. That's why we're in the situation we're in. Because this childish mentality of, bad things happen and that's bad. The limited vocabulary, the limited understanding, the inability to fucking sit down and say, maybe we should prioritize things too. Maybe sometimes while something might be bad, there is this worse predicament to worry about. They don't want to do any of that. And they want to just fucking say that, oh, I'm against this and I'm against that. Well, that's all well and good. But what does that mean for society? What does that mean for you as an individual? What does that mean for your family? What does that mean for anything? Anything. You have to give it meaning, or else why are you even bothering? Why even bother saying it? Why even bother having a fucking Reddit board or websites and forums and public spectacles of all your stupid little opinions if it doesn't mean anything because you don't want it to have the fucking balls to make it mean something, or the fact that you're always getting fucking banned and your opinion doesn't matter anyway. Why bother? You have the obligation to give everything that you care about meaning, and you're not doing it. You're not fulfilling your responsibility to make your morals have meaning. Then you wonder why all this degeneracy happens. Then you wonder why little psychopaths are growing up to be Elliot Rodgers and shit. And it's only going to get worse. And it is your fault. If you were more like me, none of this shit would have happened.